Yeah, I wasn't very confident going into this race because um, up until a few hours before, I was going to be a commentator, so I wasn't putting in any practice. Um, and also Bahrain is like one of my worst tracks on this game, but we did actually get pole position um, over FRL Season 1 runner-up Sven, who we all know is an insanely quick driver. And we get a good start here and cover him off. Um, but then he goes around the outside, and I couldn't really defend that. So I tried to set up a switchback and get some nice slipstream, but then he's so slow on the exit, I had nowhere to go, and I sort of run into the back of him and actually damaged my front wing. So going around this corner, I actually have more understeer than I would think that I would have. But then at the end of lap one, we're still keeping with him, and coming out of lap two now, we actually have a good slipstream now, and I sort of tried to dummy him into a mistake right there, but he didn't fall for it. But coming out of here, we actually get an insane exit. Now we're right on the back of him, but then he sort of moves like 3 times over here, and that sort of puts me off, and I couldn't actually find a way past him right there. And he did apologize for that after the race, but at the time that sort of angered me a bit. And then we're still keeping it with him even with my damaged front wing, and we're pushing really hard, and that actually leads to a mistake. And yeah, I was pretty bummed out about that because it could have been a really nice fight at the front, but now pretty much any chance of me winning that race is gone. Um, and that's a very common mistake for people to make. I mean, um, Panoff did it himself. I did it. Other drivers did it. You know, it's a very common curb to mess up on. And already my tires are going off at that point, and I was just trying to push as hard as I can to catch him, and that's what happens. I made a mistake, and yeah, it was all my fault. And the race itself was actually not that eventful, but there were some highlights like this. So Peter actually lets me past because he knows that um, with the gap that we have behind, and then um, all those factors playing in part, he lets me past. And then we do actually gain a little bit of gap over him, but then the rain starts to come down about halfway through the race, and I thought this was going to be my safe here because in FRL, um, when we race in the rain, I was faster than anyone else, and especially faster than Sven because he plays on the controller. And I thought that I would have been able to catch him, but the rain, I've never driven on the rain in this track. I'm so surprised that it actually rained. And we actually make our second mistake of the race, going wide on turn 10, and we just keep it out of the wall. Um, but yeah, that's yet again more time lost to Sven right there. And at this point, I've pretty much given up on winning the race because he was actually pulling away from me. Um, and I was actually quite surprised by that. Um, but then again, you know, we get off course on the corner, same corner once again. Yeah, I mean, in the dry, I'm not that good on this track, but in the wet, I guess I'm atrocious. Um, Actual round one of the season starts next week at Australia, so hope you guys see that. But once again, we go too hot into the corner, and this time there's no chance of saving that. We damage our front wing once again, and yeah, that's another mistake made by me this race. After we box, you know, I am on, or no, we don't actually box, but Peter actually had a 10-second time penalty, and he allowed me past because if he was in front of me while we made our pit stops, I would have to wait 10 seconds for him to serve a stop, so that would have held us up a lot. So the track is actually drying up again, so we pit on to the soft tires because I can easily take the soft tires to the end of the race, even while pushing every lap. Um, and speaking of pushing, we're actually going purple in Sector 1, and this was my fastest lap of the race, and as it turns out, the fastest lap of the race. So you could say that I deserve to win, you know, pole position, fastest lap, all of that, but I don't think I deserve to win. I mean, the pace was there, obviously, from me, but I made way too many mistakes to be able to challenge her to win. But it's only the presentation race, so I'm not really too fussed about that. But that does um, put a little bit of doubt in my head about when we do Bahrain in 2 weeks' time, what's going to happen there. So hopefully it doesn't rain in Bahrain. And um, yeah, I just hope that um, we get obviously more people showing up for the actual start of the season and um, just an all-around more exciting race, I guess. Because you see, the video is only 6 minutes long, so not that exciting. Um, and you can see the gap that I had to spend at the end. 3 pit stops, and I had to change my front wing in 2 of them, and yeah, just lost a lot of time due to my mistakes. And um, the podium was sort of how I expected it to be at the start of the race. First place, Sven, really, really quick on this track. Um, Second place for me would have been nice to keep that pole position um, from start to finish, but that didn't happen. And then Peter brought it home in third, even with 13 seconds of time penalties. Um, yeah, I think the top three pace compared to the rest is just ridiculous, sort of like real life F1. But this time there are no excuses for that. So thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.